After being told to recuse himself, Kavanaugh sends Dem back to Conspiracy Island by US4Trump.com. On a week that should be unforgettable and joyful for Judge Brett Kavanaugh and his family, Democrats brought their hate, embarrassment, and Trump derangement syndrome to Capitol Hill during the first 2 days of his confirmation hearing. It's been a spectacle to see, but Kavanaugh, perceptive and quick-witted, undoubtedly knew what tactics the resist team were launching to try and take him and the president down. Tuesday, the confirmation hearing of Judge Brett Kavanaugh's Supreme Court was met with disruptions and a political resisting circus to obstruct and delay Kavanaugh's confirmation. Within the first few minutes of starting, nonetheless, the political charades continued on Wednesday. Top Democrats tried to overtake the session with a rapid-fire string of objections, and protesters shouted and screamed in the audience while being hauled off and arrested. Despite Democrats having all the information they need to know about Kavanaugh, they refused to let the American people see for themselves why Kavanaugh should be confirmed. Democrats were met with embarrassment on Monday after Senator Dick Durbin confessed to a plotted strategy to disrupt the hearing. If that wasn't enough, Democrats' rude behavior during the hearing landed the president's disapproval on Twitter for everyone to see. The president said, "The Brett Kavanaugh hearings for the future justice of the Supreme Court are truly a display of how mean, angry, and despicable the other side is. They will say anything and are only looking to inflict pain and embarrassment to one of the most highly renowned jurists to ever appear before Congress. So sad to see." Being laughed at across the country didn't stop the Democrats from throwing low blows and political grandstanding on Wednesday. Senator Richard Blumenthal has a full case of Trump derangement syndrome, and he brought it with him to the hearing. I can't stand that Blumenthal. When it was his turn to ask Judge Kavanaugh questions, he went right into attacking President Trump and demanded that Kavanaugh recuse himself in cases that involve President Trump. Yeah, they had to get that one in there, right? Recuse himself for the Mueller thing, because Kavanaugh can destroy Mueller if he gets in. That's why they're fighting tooth and nail. You think they care about the people, like Hillary was tweeting about the workers? Yeah, right, Hillary. Yeah, we believe your crock of crap. I would like your commitment that you will recuse yourself if there is an issue involving President Trump. Criminal or civil liability coming to the United States Supreme Court. In other words, will you take yourself out of ruling of any of the issues involving his personal criminal or liability? Blumenthal wanted to know. Let's take a look instead of me repeating it. As by Senator Blumenthal, Kavanaugh won't commit to recusing himself in cases involving President Trump. Of course not. That's his job to involve himself. That's why he's going for the Supreme Court.
Good afternoon, Judge. I want to begin by talking about the elephant in the room. Non-theoretical. The President of the United States, who has nominated you, is an unindicted co-conspirator implicated in some of the most serious wrongdoing that involves...
A co-conspirator? He already accused Trump. Do you see what I'm saying? In other words, you're accused of a crime until you're proven innocent. That's not the way this country works. I mean, this guy should be, sued for slander just by that statement alone.
The President of the United States, who has nominated you, is an unindicted co-conspirator implicated...
An unindicted Co-conspirator
in some of the most serious wrongdoing that...
Where's your proof on any of this? This is absolutely outrageous. Absolutely outrageous.
Involves the legitimacy of his president.
Boy, oh boy.
There's a distinct possibility, even a likelihood, that issues concerning his personal, criminal, or civil liability may come before this Supreme Court as early as the next term. The issues may involve
he's as
his
ugly
refusal to comply with a grand jury subpoena, or to testify in a criminal trial involving one of the officials in his administration or his friends, or even his own actual indictment. We're in uncharted territory here. It is unprecedented for a Supreme Court nominee to be named by a president who is an unindicted co-conspirator. In the U.S. versus Nixon case, 2 of the justices had been appointed by Richard Nixon, but not while he was an unindicted co-conspirator. I would like your commitment that you will recuse yourself if there is an issue involving his criminal or civil liability coming before the United States Supreme Court. In other words, will you take yourself out of ruling on any of the issues involving his personal, criminal, or civil liability?
That's what you did to Sessions.
Senator, one of the core principles I've articulated here is the independence of the judiciary, which I know you care about deeply too, and I think undergirds some of your comments yesterday. And the independence of the judiciary is critical to the confidence of the American people in the judiciary and to the rule of law in the United States. But one key facet of the independence of the judiciary, as I've studied the history of nominees, is not to make commitments on particular cases.
I'm not asking for a particular commitment, and I'm going to take your answer as a no. It's really a yes or no question. You will not commit to recuse yourself. You will not commit to take yourself out of that decision despite the unique circumstances of your nomination.
Senator, I think to be consistent with the principle of independence of the judiciary, I should not and may not make a commitment about how I would handle a particular case, and the decision to participate in a case is itself a decision in a particular case, and therefore following the precedent set by all the nominees before me, I need to be careful. And again, you may disagree with this, but this is part of what I see as independence of the judiciary.
Well, I do disagree, and I am troubled and disturbed by
Of course you
your
are.
refusal to say that you will take yourself out of that kind of case. I want to...
You can't even make this stuff up. The Democratic senators have completely lost their minds, and this is all a political show for their base. It's not just a political show. No, they're out for blood. They're out for blood, believe you me. This is not a show. They're out for Trump, and big time. So Senator Blumenthal, according to Wikipedia, is ranked as the 2nd wealthiest member of the Senate. Imagine that. But doesn't this guy rub you the wrong way? Like somehow he reminds me of John Podesta, you know? There's something creepy about this guy. That's why they're fighting tooth and nail. There's something really, really disturbing behind these people. Because if you look at them, there's something weird about them. You know, I don't know. But how could he wind up being one of the wealthiest members of the Senate? You see, what business are you in? You see, there's something wrong with these people. And this has to end. This has to end. They have to be totally destroyed. Because this cannot be taking place in our country like this. He already convicted Trump. without even a trial. Are you kidding me? You know, and Trump should sue him, whatever. You know, what are these attorneys doing? Get them on something. You know, you can drag somebody into court for no reason. You know what I'm saying? So what are these attorneys doing? Drag them into court, you know, for some kind of charge. I'm not an attorney. I don't know. But really, you're allowing this kind of rhetoric to be spewed about the president of the United States with no proof of anything whatsoever? I mean, come on now. Come on. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.